Now, the dealer performance report, also known as the virtual 20 group, is probably what makes this platform more valuable, or at least differently valuable than your other analytics platform, is because we're doing comparative analytics with stores of similar size. And you're probably already thinking, well, Jake, I don't know what dealer I'm up against. Well, truth is we do. And so if we want to talk about some best practices that we're seeing within the 20 group, we can help you with that. But we're, of course, data protecting the other dealers in your 20 group. But we can still garner some really cool insight out of here. What you'll see is that page views is the first sort here. Now, let's say that I don't want to sort by page views. Well, simple enough. We can go to the ellipsis and we can export this data all out to Excel. So we can filter by any column we want to. For today, not really interested in doing that. All I want to do today is just get some quick insights from the 20 group. So I'm going to go down, and our dealership happens to be kind of short on page views. Now, this isn't necessarily a bad thing, because guess what? All these dealers are similar volume. So we know they're getting about the same allocations from Toyota. So actually having short page views could mean that we're turning our inventory very quickly. So it's not necessarily bad health to be short on page views. What I do want to look at, though, is my VDP views for both new and used. And to me, knowing what I know about this dealership, they have a balanced VDP view, which tells me that they're probably selling very balanced too, like a 50-50 new to used ratio. And I know a lot of stores have that as their goals. So this looks pretty healthy to me. And then if I'm looking around the stores nearby, I see that the volume of VDPs are pretty good too. Again, that could be a good or bad thing. It could be a bad thing telling me that my inventory isn't moving very fast, but it could be a good thing in that I know my inventory is drawing a lot of traffic. Now, here's the type of thing that I might want to look for as a problem, where I have fairly good new car VDPs, but fairly weak used car VDPs. And this imbalance may not match my goals. So let's just assume that this dealer is trying to get to 50-50. And the reality is they just don't have a very good inventory that isn't drawing a lot of demand. You have to look at that closer, because it could be that most of their used car inventory is Toyota Tacomas and they're only staying on the ground for a day or two. So it still could tell us a story about what we have an opportunity in as far as our inventory goes. And then we can get into the service views, and I love this view because if we have a marketing spend for our service department, we want to make sure that we're capturing that information. And so I'm looking at them, they're at 4,800. I'll scroll up the list here, and we can tell just at a glance that very few stores are beating us as far as our service drive marketing. So that's a really good, healthy indicator that's happening with this store. All right. Now, engagement rate. This is also something that I'm seeing as an opportunity for the store. And if I look nearby, most of the stores are hitting this 50% engagement rate. We got a few that are just crushing it with a very high engagement rate. But I can tell from my store, I'm underperforming here. And so in my mind, I'm already thinking I have some kind of user experience issue with my website that I might want to address. Time and site, I'm not a huge fan of getting worried about this because it depends on the goals of my website. And I'll give you an example. Let's say I'm a Roadster store. So I have the digital retailing tool and I'm driving a lot of my VDPs right into the Roadster experience. Well, if that's the case, I want a very low time on site because I'm actually driving the consumer into a space that isn't on my website. That might be a good reason to have a very high bounce rate too. So if I'm sending my consumers off to third-party tools, whether it be digital retailing or it be a service scheduler or a chat platform, if I'm doing that intentionally, I might want a high bounce rate. but for the most part, we probably want to be around the 50% mark or less if we're our goal of our website is to get a form lead or a click to call directly from the site.